Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I'm a homeschooling mom of two boys. They are in 2nd and 5th grade now. We have been homeschooling for a little more than 1 year. Recently, several friends asked about homeschooling and especially their concern as a non-English native speaker. I had that concern too. But I think to be able to homeschool as a bilingual family is really a blessing. So I want to address this in this video. As you can see, my bookshelf contains half of it is Chinese books and half of it are English books. We have other bookshelves too, but you get the idea. So let me talk about Chinese or Spanish or the language you speak at home other than English. I do read aloud in Chinese to them at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they, in the afternoon, they have a short time where they read to me as their reading practice. And I got these books, usually when you are learning, they have pinyin, so you know how to pronounce words. So they read a little, mainly picture books, like these picture books. And they have an app to learn to more about characters and writing them. So in all, I think we have more than 1 hour of school time dedicated to Chinese every day. And the our main time of our homeschooling day is in English because their curriculum is in English. And they will very likely go to college here. They'll need to take SAT, so their main education is in English, but we spend about 1 hour and 1 hour in Chinese. And for their English, like history or geography or math or reading or anything they learn, the books are in English, but I would, like, when we discuss, if I want to ask, what do you think about this? Like so-and-so character, what happened to her? What do you think will happen next, etc. I say all this in Chinese because it's more natural for me and they can understand, and they will very often respond in English, but I just speak in Chinese at home for everything, for school or for cooking or for everything, so they get this environment too. And for example, for their curriculum, they read English poems every day, and I would read Chinese poems to them right after, so we get poems in both languages, like picture study, that's art from a British museum. We have like European art, picture study, and I got books for Chinese art, so they get from both culture. And I have world map in English and in Chinese, so we can know the names of countries in both languages, and they can see the different perspectives, because the Chinese world map and American world map are not the same. You can see I'm more used to this layout, but that's a valuable thing to understand the different perspectives too. We have US map, Chinese map. That's kind of a timeline, Chinese dynasties. And when we learn about British history and American history with their curriculum, with Ambleside Online. And I'm reading Chinese history to them. So we can kind of see, okay, Queen Elizabeth, that time it was Ming Dynasty in China, etc. So they have a better idea. There's always this like broader view. I think that's valuable too. So for their education conducted in English, because we started when they were in 1st and 4th grade, and they both learned to read very well in kindergarten. So when we started homeschooling, when they both can read fluently, that and they got the phonics down. So that helped a lot. If like they have always been homeschooling, as a non-native speaker of English, I might get a video class like BGU, Abeka. A lot of curriculums offer phonics course with maybe video recordings, so they can learn phonics, because the pronunciation, I might not be able to teach them R, those sounds in English. But other than that, once they can read, there's really no problem for their education. For example, we are doing Charlotte Mason curriculum. We are doing Ambleside Online. And my younger one just started year 3. My older one is finishing year 4 because, well, if you watched my previous videos, my dad had brain cancer, and we spent a few months in China. I didn't bring this book, which is long. It's their history spine. So he's catching up on this. So he's kind of between year 4 and year 5. But anyway, so for my older one, he reads all his scheduled books by himself. My younger one, that's the biographies, Michelangelo and Da Vinci. For year 3, he will read like 1 page per day, and his brother would read to him. So usually, if I'm a native speaker, I know American moms who read aloud a lot. So my older son, he helps to read to his brother, and my younger son can read a little too every day. That's his reading practice. When he reads out loud, I can hear him. But for longer books, especially in year 1 and 3, for Ambleside Online, or for when they are in lower elementary years, a lot of books, maybe they can't read on their own yet. So maybe a native speaker would read all those out loud. If you speak English pretty well, you can too. I can, I think, but I opted for audiobooks for those longer, especially literature books, because there are, we use Hoopla through our library, which is free. We can borrow 12 books per month. So that's Hoopla. We're listening to Robin Hood, parables from nature, etc. Even some curriculum We are doing science with Apologia science books. Like they have zoology, we are doing plants, earth science, etc. All this series, I think most of them have audiobooks available on Hoopla. So we can follow in the book, listen to a part, and then discuss. Or there are, especially for literature, there are often audiobooks on YouTube. So I would check Hoopla and YouTube and choose the audio that I really like. Like we did the whole Little House series, and there is this read aloud. I forgot her name, but you may know her audiobook of Little House series. It's really beautiful. When there are songs, she sings them. The voice is so suited for the text, the family life, etc. So I think even for like a native speaker family, a good audiobook would be very enjoyable. For example, I really want to show you The Heroes. That's Greek myth, scheduled for year 3, Ambleside Online. We are following along with the book and listening to this audiobook on Hoopla. And this audiobook read by who? I don't see the information here. And but it's like in a play, like for when the goddess speaks or when Perseus speaks. It's a different. It's the same person, but he makes this sound effect. It's so dramatic, and my kids love it. Let's try this. Sinned a sin at which the sun hid his face, and from that day her hair was turned to vipers and her hands to eagle's claws, and her heart was filled with shame and rage. That's the Athene, the goddess, speaking to Perseus. So can hear this like a little sound from heaven. And her lips with bitter venom. The children are Echidna, the witch, the queen of this. Will she not freeze me too into stone? You shall take this that was bring Perseus. Me only Medusa's head. And I will bring it, said Perseus. You see the narrator and Perseus, the sound effects are different. It's so beautiful. But how am I to escape her eyes? Will she not freeze me too into stone? You shall take this polished shield. Right, so there are audiobooks really well done. So in summary, they read, especially my younger one, he can read, but he's not reading really long books yet. So he would read some as read aloud practice, and then use audiobooks a lot. But as he gets older, I will hand over his school books more and more. My 5th grader now reads all his books by himself, so that's not an issue. If I'm not a non-native speaker, we can listen together and pause and discuss. For example, those are year 5 books for my older one, even Plutarch, and that Greek myth is pretty hard, and he can read by himself. And then we will discuss, and he will give narrations or write down written narrations. That's his written narrations. So so I know he actually really understood. I'll talk about language arts, copy work, narration, and dictation, as a Charlotte Mason homeschooler in another video. I showed you Apologia has audiobooks. That's generations history for elementary age. They have a 6-book series, and they just did audio for this whole series. I think the audio bundle for the series was $60 or about $50. I got that, and we are listening to that as part of our family devotion because it's a church history. And this mystery of history, you may know it's a renowned history curriculum too. It's a 4-book cycle. That's volume 1, and they have audio available on their website too. I got audios for volume 1. I think it was under $50 too. And I like that the lessons, especially volume 1, the lessons are short, like 3 pages with pictures, so like 2 pages per lesson. If they didn't have audio, my kids could definitely read this out loud. But since they have audio, I tried. It's a nice voice, so we are listening to this, and then they narrate after. Let me show you.
Lesson 7, about 2300 BC. The Sumerians. Do you know what defines a civilization? In simple words, a civilization exists when lots of people live near one another.
So, mystery of history, this was lesson 7. I can see it's only 4.5 minutes. I can plan, like, do this during morning time. I know exactly how long it would be for the audio, and we will pause and discuss, etc. So that's not really a problem, because that was my main concern, that I may not be able to read a lot in English. I may, but I don't want to influence them with my accent. Like, I don't do R's well, a lot of things. So I wanted them to, that's a personal choice. I think whether you read it yourself or you use audiobooks, both have privileges, like advantages and, well, not really disadvantages, but that's a personal choice. I'm not saying as a non-native speaker, you can't read like by yourself, but I'm just choosing, I hope they get to listen to really beautiful, well-read read alouds, so they can learn from their, like, how to read aloud really well. And everything else you just learn alongside your child. Like my older one, we are doing fixed grammar. For grammar, because I like that it's really short, 5 minutes per day. So 1 week they talk about a grammar point, like this week is adjective and homophone and other things. And each day you have a sentence. You find these things you have already learned and fix a few things and write it down. And in the end, it's a whole story. But every day it's one sentence, so it's not too long. So anything I may not know how to say it, how to explain it, it's explained for us, right? Nowadays, the curriculums, language arts curriculums, other like science, history, it's really explained for us. It's there's a lot of choices, and we can just learn with them. After reading that, I would understand. If he has questions, I will be able to answer them. But I don't have to like reinvent like today, because I was thinking, oh, I'm not an English teacher. How do I know what to teach? Like today we are talking about adjectives. Do I have to Google it? You have curriculums to help you with that. So that is our bilingual homeschool. They get both languages. They understand both languages. They are learning to read Chinese, which is harder than English, objectively. Because you may understand what people say, but then you have to know all the characters too. It's not like English, it's phonetical. So yeah, so actually you need more time to learn Chinese. But anyway, they can function in both languages, and we have been able to learn together, to discuss, to complete all the subjects we want to learn for English, language arts, math, science, history. Me, as a non-native speaker, hasn't really been an obstacle to our learning. So this video is to encourage anyone who wants to homeschool but may have concerns because of this. There's saying that God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. I think for homeschooling too, I think native speaker or not, I don't think anyone at the start thinks, oh, I'm so qualified for this. I think we all have concerns and fear. Can I do this? But well, we have been homeschooling for a year only, but it's been a huge blessing. So this is an encouragement for you to not be hindered just because maybe you are not a native speaker of English. If you listened till now, I really appreciate it. Hope you share any thoughts, experience, how your homeschool looks like in the comments. Thank you. Hope you have a blessed day.